Hello, so this is a video about replacing an alternator in a Toyota Corolla. This is a 2013. First, we're checking the voltage. 11.8 is no bueno. And that means, I think it should be around like 12.9 or 13 volts. The car is not running yet. Or maybe it is. I can't remember. But either way, if it was running, it should be at 13.1, 13.2 volts. So we check the battery on the battery charger that has it. Now we're going to use a voltmeter to double check what kind of voltage we're getting. And it's still too low. So basically that's telling us that the alternator is not charging the battery. All the lights you can see on the dash. Now we're turning off or on all the accessories and checking the voltage again. It's dropped. So that means that the alternator is not holding it to where it needs to be. So as with anything you're doing electronic on your car, you should disconnect the battery so that you don't electrocute yourself. On this one, we have to take off the engine cover. There's 3 bolts and 2 wire harnesses. That wire harness down there just unclips like any other deal. And then there's a grounding screw right above it that has a nut that you have to take off. Just get those out of the way. Be careful as you're doing this, especially if it's cold out, because those plastic parts like to snap. It's not the end of the world if you break them, but I'm sure they're there for a reason. So I got an alternator off Amazon for like, I want to say it was like 120 bucks. And the local parts store, they're like over 300 for this car. Luckily, I had another vehicle I could drive while I waited for Amazon. If you don't, then you're kind of stuck with paying whatever you can to get it done in the day. Like, it doesn't take long to replace this thing, as you'll see. I sped up this video, but for the most part, this is like under a half hour. This is the tensioner bolt, basically. So you unscrew that from the alternator and it takes this whole clip off. It'll have a different setup in most cars, or like in different cars depending on what you do, but there's usually 2 to 3 bolts holding them in. 2 usually on the alternator, and then 1 of these like bolts that basically adjust the tension on the belt. This sucked. The bottom bolt on this alternator, it's really long, so it's got a lot of threads, and it is a pain to get out. I've done this before and used one of those battery-powered ratchets, but even that's really hard to get in there. Mainly putting it back together is a lot harder than getting it out. This is just bad access. But once you got everything out, it pops. The alternator comes out real easy. So take a look at the belt before you get into this part. Most cars have like a little sticker showing how the belt is placed on the alternator. This one, I don't know if it does or not, but yeah, just make a note of how the belt goes. Usually it's pretty self-explanatory, and most cars only have 1 belt now. Here I am just loosening that tensioner up to get it out of the way, to get the old alternator out and put the new alternator in. You can see There is some hardware you may or may not need depending on the alternator that you buy, if it comes with it or not. I think this one did come with new bolts and all that stuff. Well, maybe not, because here I am putting it on. This alternator was from the factory, so it got like 180,000 miles out of it, so it was pretty good. This one's from Amazon, from China, I'm assuming. It's not that good. I filmed this video a year ago and this alternator already failed, to be honest. But throw it in there, and you're going to put this bottom bolt in, and it's a nightmare. I don't know if it's just this car or what, but the threads are fine enough where they don't want to grab at all. So you'll see me spinning and spinning and spinning this stupid thing, trying to get the threads to grab, wiggling it around. I don't know if the mount on the motor is like off a little bit where you can't get it in the square, but yeah, really sucks. So if you have power tools, that's the way to go. Battery powered ratchet or air powered ratchet is definitely handy, so that you can spin, like just keep that bolt spinning even slowly while you kind of rack the alternator back and forth until it finally grabs. Can't really remember how long I sat here and struggled with this, but because I edited the video, but you'll definitely know when you've got it. Yeah, so this alternator only has the 2 bolts, so super easy. Once you get this one kind of started, then you can roll it back and forth to get the belt on, or roll the alternator towards the windshield of the car to fold the belt back over, and then snug everything up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this bolt on the bottom still isn't in, because you can see how much the whole alternator is still wiggling back and forth. I should put music on here or something, because this is really boring to watch. But I leave this stuff in here so that, because you watch videos on here and everything is perfect and clean, and then you go and try to do it yourself and you get frustrated and your knuckles are bloody and you want to punch the wall and you're swearing at your kids. I don't have any kids though, thank God, so I can say that. But point being, it's not as easy as it looks. It is easy, and anybody can do it, but don't get discouraged if you hate your life for 20 minutes while you're struggling to get one stupid bolt in. See, because I'm still working on it, and I'm pretty sure this video sped up like 1.5 or 2 times. Yep, looks like it's finally in. And you just double check, make sure your belt's on, all good. Tighten that. We already tightened that top one onto the alternator. Now we just have to adjust the tensioner bolt there. If your belt is loose, or tight, well, if your belt is loose, the alternator won't charge. It'll just it won't spin the alternator. It'll probably just fall off. The belt will probably fall off. If it's too tight, your belt will probably squeal. If it's loose, it can also squeal too. So when you start your car for the first time, if it's squealing, just let it run and either tighten or loosen the belt. Should have like a 1/2 inch of play in it when it's stopped. Don't test it while it's spinning, obviously, but turn the car off, push down on the belt anywhere, and you should have about a 1/2 inch of play. Get all your electrical components hooked back up. A lot of people want to replace their battery right away, and it's a lot of times the alternator. Your car should run for quite a while, even with a bad alternator, as long as you don't have all these accessories on. But usually you can at least get home. But battery, you just won't start. But if you leave your alternator bad too long, then your battery will die, and then you'll need a battery and an alternator. So now it's running. Now we're going to test it again, just to show you that it's got the proper voltage, got lights on, engine's running 14 volts. That's really strong. So I think they say like a battery, like when your car is not on, your battery should have like 13.1 to crank your vehicle over. So it's while the vehicle's running and the alternator's actually charging, we've got 14 volts. So that's plenty. Now we're going to do it with this stupid little thing, because why not? Boom. Alternator's fixed.